city staff and set up a meeting, and we'll get our people there, and we'll talk.
And you'll have a PowerPoint or a
Guy right here, we'll show it to them, yeah.
Okay.
But we're not going to stop what we're doing,
Okay.
because we're actually not getting anyone responding like you are right now to us up until the time we started this. And that's not because we didn't want it or we didn't ask for it. For some reason, they just didn't think to take us serious out there, and now they're going to have to take us serious.
Plus, we have
I hope
meetings,
so.
we have the meetings already set on Monday with everybody.
Okay, so you want me to try to get it for a Monday?
Well, I'm saying we already have to meet with Jones and the Moore on Monday, and then we've got LAFCO coming up at the county.
So we are doing what you're saying, we're trying to meet.
We're trying to meet with people on the web. But yeah, if you can get one set up, we'll continue what we're doing, but we'll agree to meet with them.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, I guess what I'd like to say is that I'm always willing to listen to what they have to offer. I mean, I can see us like making our demands and all these other things, but for me, I just wonder how much water that holds. You know, we've been told a whole lot, and it's never been followed through. You know, just to the point that we're even right now in our process, we're trying to go through our legal rights to get freedom of information, get the information that we're entitled to, and they're blocking us every step we go of the way. If we can't even get what's legally ours, how can we trust that they put something or say we're going to do this and it's going to be followed through with? We've been told a whole lot about how our shopping center was going to be here, all this other stuff. That never came through. We've been told everything under the sun, and we don't get
Can
it.
you guys come to a council meeting and one by one talk about these things so it's on TV and it's on record? And I think that would be great. You bring your families and you come. I mean, unfortunately, it's the same council now until January, but at least if you do it, I mean, you guys already know you have KCRA support.
So we can do that, but you know what, you guys work for us.
It's
Why
true.
don't you guys come out to one of our presentations?
I just remembered, Ann did go to the city council meeting, and she did request in front of the entire city council, about a year and a half ago, she asked for all those records, and
I've never gotten
you turned to Bob Dice and
He
said,
never
Bob,
gave them to
you need to get those to Ann. And Bob said, and that's as far as we got.
Don't you think that's crazy in a city where people are supposed to work for you and they make $260,000?
Yeah,
It's crazy, huh? Now you guys know what I go through. All right, well, thank you guys, and you guys have a good meeting, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, for the record, we weren't taping just you, we were actually gonna tape our entire meeting tonight.
okay.
It wasn't like we're trying to catch you on anything.
We're probably gonna cut that part out anyway.
Yeah,
Good night.
thank you for coming. All right. Now, we're ready to start our PowerPoint, but well, actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead with the PowerPoint presentation, and along the way, so we're gonna let just go ahead and ask questions as we go along, like we did last time.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. So as we're presenting it, if you have any questions at all, or if you have a question right now, just go ahead and ask. Hopefully, most of the questions you want to ask right now, we'll cover in the presentation. But like I said, as we say something, if you got a question, just stop us, because it's too hard to wait till it's all over with and then try and remember what you wanted to ask. And any question you ask tonight that we don't have an answer for, I think Dale and I are pretty much going to spend all day Monday trying to get the answers to the rest of them. And with that, I'd like to present Dale Pritchard.
Anthony and I get along real well, just like brothers, so we bicker every once in a while, but we like each other. That's not going to stop me from asking the hard questions, and I can ask those hard questions because I've been on the council and I know how powerless it is as a member of the high council. It is like a high council, the city council. I'll give you one example. My wife was, I'm more nervous tonight than I've ever been because my biggest critic is in the room. And she's going to tell me every mistake I make. Everybody else be nice to me. but we were out riding the bike in Weston Ranch, down Carroll and Weston Boulevard. And I had noticed a part on Carroll and Weston Boulevard that was bothering me for years. And it was where, what's the cross street? Carroll?
It's
McDougal?
No, it's Captain something.
Son. Oh, no, I can't think of it.
Mueller,
Mueller.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I had seen this problem out there of water that was sitting there in the gutter. You guys remember? You guys
Oh,
said,
yeah.
Remember, the middle of summer, water in the gutter.
Not only that, if you were riding your bicycle there, chances are you would slip and fall down because of the slime that was on.
Exactly what happened to me. Now I will tell you, so she's smarter than me, so she holds back. She's not going to ride through the water.
It only took them 19 years to fix that.
So I was on the city council at that time, and I was going down there because I was complaining. I wanted to see if I could figure out what was wrong, why this was happening. And so I said, I said, Jill, let's go down there and we'll check it out. She says, okay. She's smart enough, like I said, to not ride through the puddle. Okay, but me, I'm a guy. So I'm riding the bike through the puddle, and what happened, Jill? Bam! I slipped on my bike, wheels went out from me, and I landed right in the puddle on the ground. Wet, embarrassed, hurting all over, but getting up like, I'm fine, no problem, no problem. You know what guys do? And dangerous situation had been there. So I was really, really, really hot now, right? I slipped and fell. As a member of the public, they could sue the city. I'm not going to because I'm on the council and there's like rules like you can't do that.
I was going to sue the city.
So I went and got the director of the streets. Come down here, I want you to see this. Okay? I want you to see this. We went down there, he had all his people and all their people and the people's people. Everybody was there. And I said, look, you can still see in the slime where my bicycle wheel had slipped and where I had fallen in it. And I said, this has got to get fixed. Yeah, this is a problem. But you know, this
And
was
you were not the only one, trust me.
This was caused by, you know, when the developer was out here, they had somebody do the sidewalks and gutters, and they didn't do it right, and we probably should have inspected it better, and blah, blah, all these excuses. I said, I don't want any excuses. I don't care about any of that kind of, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble.
Fix it.
I want to fix. But we don't have enough money right now in the budget. It's going to take us having to dedicate money in the budget. I said, what about the money we in Weston Ranch pay for our landscape and our gutters? Extra money. We're not asking you to take money out of your bankrupt city. Wasn't bankrupt at that time, but it's getting close. Out of your city, use our own money that we pay to fix our gutter. Sorry, it's not in the budget. We have to take a look at it. It wasn't fixed until like 6 months ago, right?
Yeah,
You know how it got fixed 6 months ago? Because they wouldn't listen to me as a council member. I called up and said, I'm not on the council anymore. I'm suing you. Okay? I am suing you guys. I can do that now. I couldn't do it before. If it's not fixed, I'm suing it, and I sent pictures. I took pictures of all the problems. I sent them, I said, this all needs to be fixed. Or else you guys are going to have to explain why you did it in front of the judge. They came out and fixed it. Okay, so why wasn't I able to get it fixed on the council when I am now? Why
Because you
didn't
have more power now that you're not on the council.
They shouldn't have to be bullied for us to get the help we need.
they work for us? So let me do my presentation. I'm sorry. Let me get that up. And feel free to stop me.
I have a quick question,
Sure.
and I'm sorry if this has been talked about because I came late. What impact are us as renters here have on this whole decision?
You have the same voting rights as anyone else.
What about the people who own our houses or that don't live here? Because
They can't
what impact is it going to have on them for their houses being in West Orange if they don't have a say in what's going on?
We're going to actually talk about that. I think the impact on the property owners is the value of the property is going to go up if we do this. My feelings. And I'll explain why I think that. So I think the owners of the property are probably going to go, wow, I'm going to have more value in my property and I didn't have to do anything. Okay, but I'll let everybody think for themselves. No one here is smarter than anyone else. Richard, he's pretty smart. But think for yourself when we present this. This is just the facts, and think if you think what would be the outcome of what happens if we do this. So, Weston Ranch is prepared by me, and I'm Dale Fritchen. I'm sorry I forgot to introduce myself. And Richard Smith back there, he is actually the one who came to me how many years ago and wanted to do this?
The very beginning, probably the first time I talked to you, might be 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years ago. Okay? And I was an elected official, so our job is to ignore what people ask us. And now I'm not on the council, so I better listen. So he came to me 6 years ago with this idea. And I thought he was crazy. And I still think he's crazy.
Well, that's beside.
But his idea is good. Well, we'll let everybody decide, because we're not gonna decide this, Richard and I. It's gonna be people of Western Ranch decide this. You guys, if everybody in Western Ranch says it's a stupid idea, go away. Richard and I will not be happy about that, but we'll have a whole lot more time on our hands.
We'll hang our heads and
Okay, some history, other than what I just told you. Back in 1998, here's an article in the record, and it's titled, Weston Ranch Dreams on Hold. Back in 1998. How many years is that? How many years is that?
16 years ago, almost to
Any
the
math
day.
teachers here? Yeah.
Almost to the day. 5 years after, before I moved in.
And some people I know, friends of ours, are mentioned in this. Allison's in this article, right? So she's mentioned.
she's quoted in it, isn't she? The same,
Yes,
same
she's
thing
quoted
we're
in
saying
it.
today.
And she still lives out here, but it talks about all the things that were promised to us as Weston Ranch residents.
Say that.
I haven't been drinking, I don't even drink. No, our council member drinks, but I don't. So, oh, wait a minute, shut that off. I don't care, I'm not an elected person anymore. The promises that were made to us, how many of us have lived out here since then? Raise your hand if you've lived out here since 1998.
Before.
Or before 1998, raise your hand. Okay. So, this is nothing new about what they've been doing to Western Ranch for that long a period of time. Now, Richard, how long have you been out here? When did you move out here?
2000?
2001. 2001? So, he moves out here and he does like all of us, gets a home and wants to live here and be happy, and things are going well and promises were made, but then he starts seeing that promises aren't being kept. And he starts seeing that they put police out here because we may raise up a ruckus, and then they take police away when we no longer have a ruckus, and then we have, and he saw it, and so he did this article, back in January 9th, 2013, so this is, almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
Dream measures to save his neighborhood. Andrew Manetti's in Stockton with how he plans to separate from the city.
When Richard Smith moved from the Bay Area to his Weston Ranch home more than a decade ago, he saw his tax dollars at work. Not now, after police layoffs and bankruptcy.
What I see is that our police substation in Western Ranch is gone, that our after-school programs for children are gone.
Fed up with soaring crime, Smith now exploring an extreme last resort option to save his neighborhood.
If necessary, I would be willing to help Western Ranch unincorporate, to go separate from Stockton, so that we know our money, the money that Western Ranch puts in goes back into Western Ranch.
Breaking away from the broke city isn't what Smith wants to do, but
We can't go through years and years of nothing happening anymore.
he's hopeful new leadership at City Hall will prevent desperate measures.
We're going to give the new regime a chance to do that, but if necessary, and if they can't, if their hands are tied, then if necessary, we will unincorporate and Western Ranch will become its own city. That's what it takes.
Other neighbors are working to restore neighborhood patrol and fill vacant board positions.
We just want to get the volunteers going so the city knows that we are strong and that we are ready to pick up where we left off.
Homeowners are considering hiring armed guards to patrol that area. The 70-year-old
Okay, very good, Richard, yeah, good job. So, not to talk about the mayor behind his back, but he had mentioned we need to go before the city council and tell them what's wrong with it. I think 2 years ago, we did, right?
Yeah.
We went before them 2 years ago. And actually, at that time, I'd just been retired from, or booted off the city council, however you want to say it. And he came to me and said, you're not on there now, can we do it? And I said, we talked, we said, let's give them a couple years, a new group in there, and you might be able to fix the problems or whatever it is. We gave it 2 years. You guys see that things are getting fixed? Other than this last week, we've had more officers out here than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But I mean, hard, yeah. But you guys, is it better now than 2 years ago? You answered that for yourself.
And there hasn't been more officers out here lately.
Well, my way right here.
Well, I don't know how happy I am when I go by and I see them just sit on the side of the road and they sit there for about 3 hours just sitting there talking.
Yeah, that doesn't know when any good, right? Okay, so welcome everyone, welcome. I'll go as fast as I can because we're getting a late start. But November 3rd. Okay, actually, a little bit of time before that, a couple months before that, Richard's been bugging me about this. And he says, we got to do this, we got to do this. And I said, well, right now we're in bankruptcy, so two things. I think if we start it right now, what we're going to do is going to impact the income of Stockton. And the bankruptcy judge will probably say, stop, no more, don't do anything. You guys, you were in bankruptcy. Nothing we can do at that time to. So I said, let's wait till we get out of bankruptcy. And also, let's wait till after the elections and see what happens. And then we'll kick this off, if you really want to do this. And what did I tell you, Richard? Are you prepared for this? Because they're going to attack you and they're going to attack me to try to stop this from happening. Didn't I tell you that?
You also said that it's going to consume us, that, are you sure you want to do this? Are you positive you want to do this? Once we start, it's going to be a full-time thing. Are you sure you want to do this? And we kept saying yes, 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 and then it was finally like, it was the night of the election, it was when we finally decided, that's it, we're going to go ahead with this.
And what did I tell you the city was going to probably do?
Offer us a compromise, come with us and throw basically something at us and say, what if we give you this? And they did, they've done basically exactly what you said they're going to do.
And then what did I say they would be doing with law enforcement? This was months ago.
Increasing the enforcement immediately to show that they're not neglecting us. That's what they're doing.
So you guys watch and see if any of my predictions come to pass, because most of them already have. But, so they're going to play it. They're going to play against us to try to stop us and do whatever they can. They're going to have people out here in Weston Ranch that try to criticize us. I don't care. Fine. Debate and different opinions is what America's made of. And bring it on. I'm not afraid of it. I know there's going to be some people who don't agree with my opinion. On the council, 6 people agree with my opinion. Okay, it just happens, right? So, November 3rd, we saw a reporter after the election night, election's over, bankruptcy's over, we talked to that reporter and she said, oh, I want this. I want an exclusive on this. And so, the next day, she interviewed us, and that
It is a residential neighborhood in the city of Stockton, but the community of about 6,500 homes is looking to break up with the city tonight. There's never in Western Ranch to break away from Stockton. The community is bordered by I-5 to the east and farmland in the Delta to the west. The organizers talked only to KCRA 3's Melinda Meza, who is live for us with what this could mean for the city of Stockton. Melinda?
Well, it could mean the city of Stockton would lose millions of dollars in tax money if Weston Ranch decided to end its relationship with the city. Now, we talked to city leaders. They say they care about all their residents, but people we talked to in Weston Ranch say they're left out.
I want Weston Ranch to get what they're deserve.
Weston Ranch resident Richard Smith says he is fed up with paying up but not getting services that would protect children in the neighborhood.
We put in a lot of money to have police out here. There's been times where we've called 911, and unfortunately, I hate to say this on air, but it takes 6.5 hours sometimes for them to get out here.
Smith and dozens of other Weston Ranch residents have a meeting to see how to cut ties with the city.
A dysfunctional relationship, we're putting in for the relationship, and our partner, the city of Stockton, is not doing their part. A relationship cannot continue like that.
Organizers say they are now moving forward with breaking up with the city of Stockton. They say this way Weston Ranch will get what it needs.
Oh, that's very unusual.
Jim Glasser from LAFCO, the local agency formation commission, says there are steps the Weston Ranch neighborhood would have to take to no longer be incorporated.
A petition signed by the voters within the area to detach, and that takes 25% of the voters within that area.
Found anyone yet who thinks it's a bad idea.
Former city council member Dale Fritchen says Weston Ranch would pay water, sewer, and fire fees. Organizers say the sheriff's office would dedicate 2 officers to the area.
Sheriff Moore said that they can clean up Western Ranch, and he said that they'd be more than happy to do it.
We talked with Mayor Anthony Silva.
I think it's very imperative that representatives from City Hall, such as the city manager, the chief of police, and the council member who represents that area, to sit down with those residents and have a great discussion on how they can better serve those residents.
Now, Weston Ranch residents say they have met with the chief of police, they have met with the sheriff, and they plan on having meetings every Saturday now to try to gather enough signatures to go ahead with this motion. They will need to get 25% of resident signatures for the commission to approve the detachment, and then there will have to be a special protest election. So we will keep you up to date on this story. Reporting live in Stockton, I'm Melinda Meza, KCRA 3 News.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to follow. Thanks, Melinda.
Okay, so what do you guys think of that? Oh, applause too for Richard.
I'm sure your hair wasn't done in that video.
I want to say, these videos were 2 years apart. Wow. Okay, right? Richard, how do you keep the same amount of hair in 2 years? Because I have.
Spray on.
Okay, so this what we're kind of proposing, and one that we're actually right now in the exploratory phases to find out what the people of Weston Ranch want. We haven't decided what yet we're going to do, but what we're asking and what we want and what we're proposing is what it's called, kind of called in the city, it's called county pockets. You know, within the city limits of Stockton right now, there are certain areas which are not in the Stockton city limits. These are called county pockets. My wife's parents live in one.
I've lived in one all my life until I got married and moved out here.
Okay, so they're in these areas here that have the red arrows on there, and we're going to have all this stuff on the website and everything. So they're within Stockton, but the sheriff provides police protection for them. Okay, they still get water, they still get sewer. The sales tax in those areas are lower than outside of it. They pay less on utility tax. You guys know you pay additional for every cell phone you have. There's a Stockton utility tax. They don't pay it. Okay? People right here and we here, they don't pay it, and we do pay it, right? So, yes?
What is the difference in the water and garbage, like as far as, do we still get recycled, what all those things?
Everything stays the same on garbage, all of those things. They're required by law to continue the sewer service. So like, if we vote this and you go home and your toilet doesn't flush anymore, that's not going to happen. No more water. Oh, let's get pitchforks and fight Richard and Dale. That's not going to happen, right? Well, it might happen, but so all that keeps running. The garbage is by a whole different company does our garbage services. So they'll have to say, do we want to just stop picking up garbage, or do we still